This is the lever latch that I have on my shop door right now. I built it about 10 or 15 years ago. It was something I put together in an afternoon. It was just something to keep the door closed. I had to work around the holes that were already in the door, so that's why the configuration is a little weird. It's worked well, and I don't have any problems with it as far as that goes, but I have the time now, and I'm going to build something that has a little bit more of a classic look. So that's the project that I'm going to be working on in the next couple of videos. So as you can see, there really isn't much to this. This one tapered pin holds the whole thing together. I'm struggling a bit here to get these two handles apart because I honestly don't remember how I built this thing. I know I hadn't used a set screw or anything like that, but something was sure holding these two pieces together and I couldn't figure it out. Anyway, it finally occurred to me what I had done and what I needed to do to get the two pieces apart. So now I can show you how it works. So here's the part that was giving me all the trouble. I had forgotten that I had used a pin to lock the two handles together. And it was kind of a clever idea, but I guess over time that pin had worn a bit of a groove inside of the handle and it was a little tough to get to break loose. Here you can see the orientation of the pin when the latch is assembled. To assemble the lock, you need to turn the handle upside down and pass it through the keyhole slot that I've made in the back plate. So once it's in the correct position, it won't be able to pass through the back plate. The spring is just your standard leaf spring. However, the one mistake that I made is I didn't take the time to create a sharp enough shoulder right at this point. So the latch bar is able to wedge itself between the back plate and the spring and work its way out of position. So to assemble the latch, you start by placing the inside door handle under the spring. And then you keep some tension on the latch so you can get the holes lined up to insert the outside door handle. And then you get the pin through the back plate by turning the outside door handle upside down. And then you spin the outside door handle into position until the pin drops into the recess of the front door handle. And then you put the washer on and drive the wedge in place. The other mistake I made with this door latch is I didn't take the time to get a really good fit between that wedge and the mortise. So every week or so you need to drive that wedge home to tighten everything back up. So here I have a sketch of the main elements of the new latch. This sketch is just to show you the relationship between the parts and the direction that I'm going in. The finished latch probably isn't going to look like this at all. I'm not going to be working from drawings to build this lock. I'm going to start from the back plate and then based on that I'm going to be able to measure everything else that I need to assemble onto that back plate. As you can see, it's a pretty standard lever latch. This is the main latch bar that runs through the center of the latch. And this is the pivot point on the far right. I'll be using a pretty standard spring arrangement that you see on this type of latch. With this latch I'm going to be using a tumbler to lift the latch bar, and once again that has to conform to the hole that I have in the door, so that's predetermined. Here I've drawn in a pretty traditional style back plate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this because I do have other holes that I need to cover on the door, so that's something I have to work out. This square represents a cover plate, and this zigzag line just represents a cutaway that allows me to show you what's behind that plate. This cover plate is going to give me the front bearing surface that I need to keep this tumbler in place. Again, I've just drawn it as a square to represent the position of this plate. It's probably not going to look like this. As well, these tabs that I have drawn here to hold the plate in place are probably not going to be used. I'm still going to be using lever handles for this latch because that's the easiest way to open the door when you're carrying something. This line is just to show the position of the lever without obscuring the rest of the drawing. The main reason I did this drawing is to determine whether I'm going to be able to fit this latch in the space that I have on the door. Again, I'm working with a couple of restrictions. These two vertical lines represent the width of the stile that I'm working on, and the tumbler needs to fit exactly in the center of that. So even though this drawing doesn't show all the final details of the finished latch, it is a scaled drawing and it does allow me to position all the major components that I want to use in that latch. Because if it fits in a scaled drawing, I can make it fit in real life. So now that I'm confident that all this is going to work, in the next video I'll start putting this thing together. Hi, I'm Dennis and thanks for watching. If you like this video, by all means give it a thumbs up. If you want to support this channel, you have a couple of options to do that. The first thing, of course, is to just subscribe. Second, if you have ideas or photographs of things you'd like to see on this channel, send them along. I'll turn them into a video. If you want to lend your financial support to this channel, you have a couple of options there. You can go to my channel homepage and click on the options that you see in the banner. So thank you for your support, and with your help, I'll be doing this for some time to come. We'll see you next time.